was phenomenal and did a great job.
Yeah.
And it was just really, I thought it was just really entertaining.
All right.
And,
I'm going to go ahead and say my number 3.
okay.
It's one that we haven't really talked about yet. It's episode 276. Maybe you can see where I'm going with that. Yeah, the Atticus Institute.
Oh, no.
That was a number 3 for me. That got bumped up. So here we go with our overlapping.
Like I said,
really
my Atticus Institute, well, I put it in as my number 4 pick. Like I said, it almost was an honorable mention.
Huh. Okay. Your number 3 then.
Oh. A Cure for Wellness.
Really?
Yes.
We are so far off this year.
Not so far off.
Well, not so far.
Why, is it your number 2 instead of 3 or something?
No, nothing like that. Our picks are genuinely different this time.
Okay.
Not, we like the same movies and stuff, but I think we got different things out this year.
A lot of times this is it's boring because it's like, mine's
he's going to pick the same thing.
Hey, mine's Pontypool.
Yeah.
Which Pontypool should always be at the top?
Another reason why we don't do movies, our top 5 movies ever, because you'd get the same movies.
Well, you know what? Arguably, we would have to review it again, and we never review the same thing twice.
True enough.
But
so anyhow,
like back when the very first time we watched and reviewed The Thing, which is a joke, we've seen it 20, 30 times before we actually watched it and reviewed it for our podcast. So saying, The Thing is my number 1, well, duh, you've seen it 30 times and it's your favorite movie. So that's why we have to choose from things that were new to us.
Right. A Cure for Wellness. I like that a lot. Didn't quite make the list, but for the movies that we had on here, there were a lot of good ones that I liked. There were a few clinkers in there, but I think we had a
better
good variety.
year.
I think so.
Yeah, there were a couple that I really did not like.
Yeah.
But last year and the year before, I had a really hard time selecting my top 5.
Well, you had a hard time actually putting them in order this time.
Yeah, I still don't know what's happening. I may be giving them totally in the wrong order.
I'm going to give you my next honorable mention then.
Okay.
See how you feel about this. My honorable mention is It from 2017. I know the movie 2017, the most recent version of It, is a new movie, right? It fits our criteria of being new to us the first time I saw it.
Yeah.
But because I was already so familiar with the story, or from watching the miniseries, and then having listened to, I was going to say read, but actually technically listened to the book, the unabridged book of it. Like, I'm so familiar with the story, it didn't feel fair for me to put 2017's version of It on there, because I kind of already knew the story. So you know what I mean? Does it make sense to you that it was kind of a cheat for me?
I understand what you're saying, but I don't think that's cheat.
Okay.
I mean, it was a new movie done fresh with, you have to judge it by everything.
Okay.
The actors, the writing, the special effects and everything. The movie as a whole, how enjoyable was it?
Thought it was absolutely great, and it's one of my honorable mentions. So that's my second honorable mention. So, was it sad? Well, what's your honorable mention?
Alien Covenant.
Oh, okay.
It should have probably been, it was really hard for me to pick my top ones.
Okay.
So I really liked that an awful lot.
All right.
I almost feel like it's something other, in itself, that where you feel like it was not fair for some reason to put it in there. I felt like it shouldn't be in the top 5. It's like something else.
Okay.
I don't know. Alien,
know. Because it's part of a greater story.
I love the series. I think they're all super great.
Okay.
I love them so much. I feel like it would be unfair, I think, to say Alien Covenant's my favorite. Duh.
Okay, because it's part of the Alien.
So,
okay.
An honorable mention, that's terrible. That's not doing it justice either.
Okay.
Maybe I'll swap that. Maybe I'll bump that up.
All right. Well, this is where it starts to get really exciting and intense. Because here's my number 2. Well, let me ask you, what's your number 2?
Clown.
Oh, come on. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my number 2 also.
I knew we'd find each other somehow.
It was just a matter of time before we started to overlap.
Well, I'm dying to see what your first one is.
Well, I'm going to ask you then instead, what is your number 1? Well, do we say anything about Clown? I mean, go back.
Aside from it being awesome.
Absolutely flipping awesome. That's episode 300.
Yeah.
We, of course, did our special episodes there and kind of drag that out and stuff. But
I'd say if you have not seen Clown yet, you have to see it. It sounds super cheesy, like, all those kind of typical... I mean, you see the preview for it, and you think you know what kind of movie it is.
It's not.
It's just that cornball-y,
Yeah.
I mean, it's corny. It's got comedy.
Black
but
comedy.
It's also not funny.
Yeah.
It's serious. And
True.
they did such a great job. We discussed the mythology. They came up with why this is happening. I thought they came up with a great history.
Right.
Yeah, it was excellent.
All right.
That's why it's my number 2.
Yeah, so sooner or later we start overlapping. But all right, so let me ask you then, what is, drum roll please, what is your number 1?
Well, you've kind of spoiled this because my number 1 is your honorable mention.
I knew it when I saw the look on your face as I said it.
Yeah.
So, okay. That's great, though. I'm glad that we wanted to.
I am a huge fan of it. The story, the miniseries. I'm able to separate everything out and judge everything individually.
Right.
I thought this was a great addition to the universe that is it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a great telling of the story. And
so here's the thing that I've kind of been saving or whatever. Well, I'm not even going to tell you now.
Okay.
I am glad to say that having listened to the book here most recently, I can't wait for you to sit down and read, because you probably won't listen to it, right?
Probably not.
Okay. I can't wait for you to read it because there are still some surprises, and I'm waiting to see whether they attach or if they attach that to it, if they do it, if they get those points
in the next
installment.
Okay.
There's things that are reveals regarding Pennywise
when they're
that haven't been.
It's in the future.
Yeah, that neither series have touched on. There's a couple of things in there they're not going to touch on, but anyhow.
What's your number 1?
My number 1. Are you dying to know? Do you really want to know? Do you?
I guess so. Yeah.
Oh, you were supposed to be excited and cheer me on there and be.
What's your number 1? Come on.
That's too late
Number
now.
1.
My number 1, and this is Castle Freak.
Castle Freak.
That was my number 1.
Really?
And this one, talk about things that are not being fair or whatever, or so nostalgic.
Yeah.
Like that maybe isn't even, maybe it doesn't belong in the number 1 spot.
Sure it does.
But that's the way it goes.
Anything goes.
All right, so Castle Freak for me was such a fantastic movie to enjoy for as much of the Full Moon stuff as I've seen, and I haven't seen it all, but as much as I loved Full Moon, especially in the late 80s, early 90s and stuff, I was such a Full Moon fanatic and stuff, and it captured all that.
Of that.
Yeah, and it was new, and to see it now and experience those same things with Jeffrey Combs and everything in there, it was good. Maybe wasn't 100% on the story. Like, there were things I could pick apart if I wanted to, but...
No, it was... It deserves to be up there pretty high on the list. Because we talked about it just not too long ago. Everything from the story, like it being very different as far as the story was very dark and it was lacking the humor.
Yeah.
They took it very serious.
Yeah. And it was
something gritty. Different. It was rated R and gritty, and it was really different.
Yeah.
The acting was a little hit and miss, but the location was cool.
All those things that Full Moon did right and does right with their stuff, it was good to see. So that was my number 1.
Okay.
So
there you have it.
So there you have it. I'm not sure if it was.
You are right, though. This is the first time we've had really different, in spite of us both having a couple of them. Clown and Atticus Institute.
Right. But, so there you go.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say about the podcast this upcoming year? As always, thanks for support to the to our patrons. And also I want to mention that very often as these podcasts are being recorded and just throughout everyday life there, wardrobe is provided by DNOS Las Vegas for the finest in pop culture tees.
Wow.
Wow. Should I have done that a little differently? Well, anyhow, we'll talk more about
there
that off the air.
Anyway. It's done now.
Can't take it back.
Yeah.
All right. So, thank you all for listening. We've got lots of exciting episodes and things coming up here. Here's the final thing that I was going to say with regarding Throwback Thursdays. I guess I'm going to continue those. I don't know. They get their downloads along with everything else. So we may still do our check-ins from, at this point, 2018 instead of 2017.
Well, I noticed you put a poll out the other day to ask people whether or not you should get rid of Throwback Thursdays, and you didn't get much response. So
no. So is that a good thing, a bad thing?
I don't know.
I guess until somebody begs us to quit, please stop.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Oh boy.
So there you go.
Yeah. I guess that's it.
Thanks for listening.
And Happy New Year. Happy
New Year. Oh, dang it. Just about to shut it off, but what I was going to say, the upcoming episode.
But wait, there's more.
We were going to talk about Psych 9 next, on the next podcast.
Yes, that'll be next week's
Psych
podcast.
9, and then the other thing will be Insidious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the last key. So that's the...
And Arachnophobia will be right around the corner.
Okay.
Because I cannot believe you haven't seen that. See, now that'll be one that I will not be allowed to put on my list next year because I've seen it. I saw it in the movie theater when it came out.
Oh my god!
It's been years though,
right?
So I'm actually really excited to watch Arachnophobia.
And we were going to have like a whole list of movies coming up where I was going to list off the next half dozen movies we were going to do, but those plans got changed today, didn't they?
Oh, yes, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Anyhow, thanks for listening, folks. As always, you can get in contact with us by emailing me directly at madsaxon, MADSAXXON, at yahoo.com. You can find us on Facebook. Punch in VICISINTERIMO, Vicis Interimo, and you can always friend me, S. Michael Jones. Thanks for listening.